Hey, what's going on, guys? This is BJax, and online today, just giving my opinion in regards to the presidential election that we just seen happen here. And it looks like this election made history because we have a presidential candidate that basically didn't follow all of the formal transitions to become the president. And what I mean by that is he didn't serve any military time, or he didn't work any time in government or anything like that. And a lot of people are looking at that as a negative to him, basically saying that he doesn't have the experience to run a government or doesn't understand the government side of things. Well, I'll say this: there's basically several perspectives of how this election of Trump winning is going down. Okay, first you have different groups of people out here. You have, all right, the Democrats as a whole. The Democrats as a whole totally feels that because they did not win the presidential election, that all of their changes or so much changes or so-called changes or whatever that they have made are going to be repealed. Okay, well, let's look at some of these changes that went down. Okay, we had Barack Obama. Okay, when he became president, it appeared that everybody that was black voted for Barack Obama because he was black, or he's so-called African American, because actually his father's from Africa and his mother is white, so he's not really an American from an African American. But anyway, moving forward on that. Okay, so you have Obama. He comes into the White House. He promised so much change and all these things that we thought that he was going to do to better black people, minorities, and just so-called, I guess, liberal people. What exactly is liberal? Well, let's look at all these things that came with the package. Okay, you had single mothers, you had homosexuals. Okay, you had a lot of different things in there that were packaged in together. You had the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, you had everything in there that was just jammed in there, all on one ticket. Okay, and this is the reason why Hillary really failed. Why she did not win the presidency, because she had too much on her plate that she was holding, that she was carrying. Okay, first of all, let's do basic mathematics. I do believe that the African American population only takes up anywhere between 11 to 12 or maybe 13% of the United States. Okay, so if every person voted for Hillary, I'm sorry, every African, so-called African American person voted for Hillary, it would not be enough to put her into office, because there are many whites and other races out here that just dominate the American population. Okay, so you get all the African Americans, right? And then she played off the hate thing, or the racial things with the Hispanics, hoping that she would get that vote. Okay, well, let's just say this. Let's just say they're 13 and 13. Okay, that's 26%. That's if every last one of them voted for you. So you only got 26%. We still haven't hit 100 yet. Okay, then you have the LGBT community jammed in there. Okay, and these guys, maybe they make up 10%. I don't know. Let's give them 13. Let's just say they're 13% of the population. But at the same time, remember, some of them are Hispanic and some of them are black. So those numbers are still blending in. They're not their own group. Okay, they're still either Hispanic or African American. Okay, so now you bundle that in there, plus, listen, a lot of people, the majority of Americans, are really not down with a lot of things that went down as far as the homosexual agenda. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying that, hey, this person doesn't have the right to, in America, to practice whatever it is that they're doing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's still a large majority of people that are not down with that type of activity or alternative lifestyle. Okay, and so there are a lot of white people, or a lot of black people, and people of other cultures that were kind of upset with this. Okay, so this is what I think. What I think happened was, okay, you had majority of the white people that are out of work, that do not have proper representation. Okay, they're out of work. They need assistance. So guess what? They heard what he had to say. Trump had to say, and they jumped on his back. Okay, and then like I said, then you have black people that weren't down with the agendas of the liberal. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm supposed to vote Democrat. That's retarded. Okay, guess what? On both sides, they said things that were racially against black people. Okay, I don't look at the emotional side of it and say, well, he said something about black people and shit. They're white people. So they're going to say things and maybe not say it the way that you would like for them to say it. But they're trying to be honest and they're trying to be frank with you. But every time they come out honest and be frank with something that they say, it's misinterpreted, and therefore we never get the true justice that we should get. And we always get hypnotized into going to other places that do not help our agenda. Okay, now I think where Trump really came through is his ability to make people imagine that they can get jobs, have good jobs that can pay wages. That can pay for a mortgage and pay for food and pay for their kids to go to school. These are the things that people in America are concerned about, and I really don't think it has anything to do with one's color. I think that we all have something that we all want to share. Majority of us, anyway, and that's called peace. Majority of us want peace in our lives. We want to be able to eat. We want to be able to play with our kids. We want our kids safe. And you know what? Guess what? I don't have to necessarily have to be talking to a white person or interacting with them. And when I say that, I don't mean that professionally. I'm just saying that I don't necessarily have to live in their neighborhood or try to fit into their agenda to get this peace. And I think this is what Trump is what I saw that he was trying to offer. Like, look, hey, tell with all the bullshit, all the games, put all the games aside. Hey, let's make money. Okay, if we all make money, then obviously that's what resolves some of the problems here. But hey, racism has been in America since the beginning of its time, and we, as I would say, so-called African Americans, need to get off the emotional tip that, hey, let's just vote for anybody that smiles at us. If you look at any other group of ethnic people, let's say, the Asians, and we'll put them all together. Asians, I know that's bad, but let's put them all together. The Chinese, the Koreans, put them all together. You never hear them on TV or see them in a rally talking about who they're going to vote for. You don't see the Arabs, all the other nationalities that are in America. You don't see them talking about their rights and who they should vote for to get good rights. Do you know why? Because they understand the power of coming together as a community and bringing their monies together. They bring their money together to make things happen in their neighborhood. They hire their attorneys, the lawyers, and they have politicians to assist them. They understand. But the rest is just a show. You have, looks like sometimes you just have bossy black women that's just up there trying to run the show. I don't even see any, if you look and see any real African American up there talking about anything, African American man up there talking about anything that means anything. And if it is African American man, he's a homosexual. And and just because I say he's a homosexual doesn't mean that I'm targeting homosexual or I am bullying homosexual. I'm saying that it just so happens to be a homosexual male that's always representing the black male. And this is unfair because there are black men who are not homosexuals and who do not get the limelight. But every time you see a commercial or you see something, there's that homosexual black male, and he gets coupled in there with the Democrats, coupled in there with everything else that represents us that's not a true representation of the black man. We're talking about a black heterosexual male. There's no representation for that. In fact, there is no. I don't believe there's an agency or any kind of group that can actually say they exist to promote young men growing up to be strong, black, white, any kind of man. Give men values of heterosexual heterosexual. It's attacked at all sides. So these are, I think, some of the things that flipped Hillary Clinton's opportunity to be president. Although she appeared to be a good candidate, I just think that the timing is bad, and the timing was right for Mr. Trump. You know, Hillary kind of reminded me of the old Buffalo Bills. Like, you know, they went to the Super Bowl it may have been 4 straight times. I was just to say 4 times in 5 years, something like that, and they never won the Super Bowl. They never won. I think Denver did that a couple times too, but then they finally won. But the point I'm trying to say is basically, I believe these are the reasons why Hillary was not successful, and then in the places where it really mattered, she just wasn't convincing enough that she could put jobs together. Because remember, your man Barack Obama came in there and promised all kind of stuff to everybody. You know, and I do believe, you know, especially, you know, the black community, you know, seeing a man of color as being the president, they were finessed into that, you know, into believing that, seduced into believing that, yes, I'm a person of color. This person of color can help us out and make our situation better. Not take over America. Not defeat another class of people. No, just get a little bit of breathing room so that we can live good and have peace and tranquility in our neighborhoods as well, and start having our brothers fight our sisters, and our sisters fight our sisters, and our brothers fight our brothers. Just having resources to breathe, jobs. So if you had jobs that could pay wages, you would not have to. I mean, hey, if most guys, me personally, I'm an IT guy. Okay, so you know, hey, I did make it, but there are a lot of other people that don't make it because guess what? They can't find certain jobs for their skill sets that they have to help be the man that they want to be. And before they can even do that, if you already got a felony, most jobs aren't going to take you. So I think it comes down to when I hear Trump say that he wants to develop, you know, the black areas, you know, the inner cities and the communities. The best way he can do that is to assist black people having their own businesses, and black people creating their own economics and where they live at, and you have so many other denominations of backgrounds that actually sell to black people in their neighborhoods, and they need to go to their neighborhood where they live at and help black people set up businesses in their neighborhoods so they can provide jobs for the kids in their neighborhoods so those kids wouldn't have to steal. Okay, that will allow income to come in so they can purchase things in their community, and then maybe other establishments like bigger companies, like maybe a Best Buy or something nice they can have in their neighborhood because the kids work in that neighborhood. They actually work in that neighborhood so they can purchase. But the first thing we need before we can talk about a Best Buy or anything else is just having black people understanding what capital is and entrepreneurship is so that we can purchase from our own and create jobs in our own communities. We're not talking about taking over anything else or taking over other states or counties and stuff like that. We're talking about where those black people live at, teaching them how to suffice for themselves in their own communities. And then maybe someone from another community can come in and say, I like how they create this over here. Hey, and that's how trade started. Different communities had different things that were hallmark to that community that created it. and I think where most black people live today, there's no creation going on. Okay, Trump's talking about taking jobs from overseas and bringing them back. I mean, he has totally cracked the establishment of the same old. So even as a black man, I have to say to myself, he said some things that really made sense. He said, you ain't got nothing to lose. I mean, we just came over, I would say as a black man, a horrible defeat by having Barack Obama in office. Yeah, he was the president to everybody, but he definitely I think he just, I don't know, man. He did some other stuff than what he should have done for Americans. Okay, but I'm listening to Trump, and he wants to be the president for America. Then him being the developing person with the management style that he has, I believe that he can build